Salam and welcome to Leaders for Africa, the podcast where we dream big and empower African leaders for a sustainable and connected future. I'm your host, Meryem Najma, a civil engineer and executive coach, mother of three and founder of this Pan-African movement that began with a podcast and now connects voices across sectors, regions, and generations. Today's guest is someone I really and deeply admire. She's a pioneer, a bold voice in the world of leadership and coaching, and a true inspiration across Africa and beyond. Jihane Labib is a globally recognized executive and team coach, leadership advisor, and global board director at the International Coaching Federation, where she proudly serves as the first Arab elected to this prestigious role with over 10,000 hours of coaching experience across more than 20 countries. Jihane works with senior executives and organizations on strategic transformation, team cohesion, and inclusive talent development. She is the first master certified coach and advanced certified team coach in Francophone Africa. She founded Coaching Lab Academy in 2012, the first ICF-accredited training school in the region. She is also pursuing a PhD in education and artificial intelligence with a research focus on the future of leadership training in an AI-powered world. Jihane, welcome to Leaders for Africa.
Thank you, Meryem, for the invitation, and thank you to our audience for being with us today.
Thank you. Let's begin our conversation and start with simple question. Who are you in 2 minutes?
A woman, curious woman, continuous learning about myself, about people, about the world, and passionate about the human being, purpose-driven. I do really believe in the human potential, in our continent potential, in the woman potential. Yeah, I think this is how I want to present myself today.
Okay, so what's your big dream and how did you get to where you are today?
That's a long story. My dream was to become a psychologist, I think in 1966 or 65. I don't know when we do have our orientation, and no one in the family let me in that field, because in that time I'm from Marrakesh and we had only one psychologist in that time, and he didn't have any a client or patient or so. Yeah, I had to follow the normal the trajectoire, which was medicine or engineering, and I kept that dream with me. When I was working in telecommunication field, we had the privilege to have organizational coaching, and it was it was an aha moment. It was in 2006, and it was this is really interesting. And the coach we had that time was psychologist, and shared with me a lot of his personal story, and it was just inspired by him. And I was doing my master degree with ICF, and I did it. So I did it as research. So that was the start, 2006. Yeah, that was my Eureka as a physician. Yeah, that was and I remember the first day I started my first course, I shared with participants that I would love to do some things for the profession in Morocco, and I did, and I never imagined that I was doing it also at a global level. 20 years ago.
Wow, time flies.
Exactly.
Definitely. Okay, where did you pursue your education? Maybe you can share with our audience your journey from that little young girl with her big dream as an African woman leader.
Yeah, I grew up in Marrakesh. This is an amazing city. It's a really African city by the colors, the smells, the spices. And I used to walk a lot in the Medina, the old Medina, with my grandmother. And she was my first coach, by the way, for handing it to my mom. And we spent a lot of afternoons just like walking through the small shops, and she told me اللي ما شريت نزه, and that what it mean if you can we can buy, but let's do our sightseeing, kind of sightseeing. And she was talking about artifacts and always honoring what people they made by their hand, and she was explaining to me, this is coming from far, Binti, my little daughter, this is coming from Senegal, from Ivory Coast, or even
from Mali.
Yeah, I remember this. I still have until today. Always when I'm visiting the Medina, I remembering her and honoring her. And I think these days like shaped the first link with my history, with my identity as an African, and always like seeing myself living in blessed city, who was and who is still now like Carrefour, crossing culture Carrefour, and I can meet with foreigners, with people coming from South, from North, from Africa, from Europe, from US, from Middle East, and Asia. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was like a brilliant student, so I was always the first. I remember I loved studying. I was someone who can study for hours and read books and spend my summers reading books. I'm curious. This is why I'm really curious person. So I loved like knowing more, and I did. When I had, finally in the university, I did the business. I did one of the first and pioneer also business schools in Morocco, and I finished it. I did audit and management control, and I finished it, I think, 2000. It was 2000. I graduated at 2000. I was the first at Major de Promotion.
That was 25 years ago.
Yeah, 25 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And I worked in telecommunication, and it was, always telecommunication for 10 years, and after I moved to media and pharmaceutical companies, I was marketing director. I was like numbers, market shares, and that was the business and corporate world.
Saying that after 25 years ago, who really inspired you from that moment? And maybe what are the quotes you were talking about your grandmother? Maybe who else, professionally or maybe at the university, who really inspired you, or what is the message that you still keep in your mind since you were there?
I still remember one of my professors told us that never believe all what we told you, what we are saying to you. Just be curious, look for the information, develop your critical thinking. And I loved him. I loved what I think he gave us the freedom to think out of the box, even if we had to answer the right answers. But he gave us this freedom to ask questions at that time and to learn. I remember we didn't have internet like we do now, so we had to go to the library and ask for books, and that was the research at that time. And he kept always, be curious, be curious. My mom is well educated and teacher. She just retired a few years ago, and she's still working, by the way. When she retired, she decided to go back to university, for example, and to re-study new things, and she's still working.
Wow.
Yeah, she's working now. She's volunteering.
That's really great. Mother role that you have, it's definitely, how can I say, something that not everyone can have and can enjoy, but definitely our mothers could be the best role models as leaders when we talk about leadership.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we need to give them kudos and to talk about their work. We have the opportunity now to talk, to be present on social media that they don't, and just to honor them and to also to enhance and highlight what they are doing, what they made. If we are here today, it's because we found them to support us.
Thank you, Jihane, for this inspiring introduction and inspireful messages. Now let's dive into what really and truly ignited your journey. So I'm gonna ask you this question about your mission and vision. What really sparked your mission or vision?
My mission changed, I think, since I started this path of coaching. And before doing coaching, I did the long cycle of psychoanalysis. And because in that time, I just wanted to know more about me, about myself, and about people. And honestly, it was about my relationship with men. Because I was like, I'm the eldest in my family, and I was always working with male in male environment, and I was a little bit finding myself a bit harsh and acting like a male. And when I had these feedbacks, and yeah, to get married you need to change, and no, we don't need that. We need that to get a job, to get hired. But yeah, if you want to get married, you need to change, and I didn't know how to change it. So I went to the psychoanalysis to better understand my identity and my psychology, and that was very helpful for me.
When did you start that?
It was in 2005. And 1 year later I found the coaching, and it was like, I think, an eye opener or a door opener to a lot of things. So just after this, I did my master and I did the coaching. I changed a job and I moved to another city. And at that time, my mission it was to have a successful career, as everyone it is. Every like a little woman, I had on mind what I call the classical successful life, which is success in your studies, success in your career, get a high salary, buy your apartment, your home, or whatever, get married, and to have it. It was heaven things. And when I did work, it's not only the coaching is not enough. With the therapy, the coaching, the self-reflection,
yeah,
the switch was there. So my mission was to set myself in the being more than the heaven. And later on, I found that I have really talent in working with people and coaching them mainly in leadership, like enhancement. So I decided to start, the Coaching Lab Academy. It was in 2012. It was 6 or 7 years after starting this all these changes in my life. So 2012 was a big jump, because I had good position. I was marketing director. I had lots of privileges, and I remember my dad told my mom, "Your daughter is becoming crazy. I cannot understand what she's doing. What is this thing? What she's doing? Entrepreneur? What is this? What is it? The coaching? What is that? She's crazy." I think that the panic was there. My mission, was to. I worked in a big stressed or stressful environment. My values, I questioned a lot my values when I started the Coaching Lab Academy. I said, what are my values? What I do want to achieve? What I do want to leave behind me? And that's the new baby came. And my mission today is to help leaders, to help organizations to become sustainable, performant, but also in healthy way for people, for individuals and teams. Because performance it's not performance or will be, no, it's both. They are both, it's combined. So this is my main mission for the time being. And of course, to train, to help people also to be trained as good coach or qualified professional coaches. So I have these two both hats. The vision, my vision, I do believe that together we can make the difference. We can build and let's prepare a good future for ourselves, for our kids, for the human being. But together, yes. I am one of many. I have one of many, and I have this beautiful vision of balancing the world. where we are living today.
That's really powerful. When you talked about your dad, your father, and what he thought about you at that moment when you decided to become an entrepreneur, just wondering what really drives you to follow your beliefs and your dream?
The freedom.
Yeah.
I think I was
freedom. Okay.
At that time, a few girls, a few women were there to dare have this optimistic idea or to do, and with not like big investment, not capital, not like a big community behind you. And in Morocco, and you don't have the big names behind you to support you to have this business. It's like, okay. And now we find that Gen Z or even the new generation, they are like, this is their culture. This is now they are talking about entrepreneurship. And this is what we are asking from them also, because the government or company, they cannot hire enough. So think about entrepreneurship and innovation. But that time it was challenging. I think the willingness to be free, the willingness also to, I had a vision about the coaching. I had a vision that this is gonna be like the new profession. I had this vision, and no one I remember even in the association when I talked about this, they said, no, it's too much. You are like dreaming. We cannot like follow you. And I had that vision that, okay, that the coaching will be the profession of the future, and we will need coaches, and we are shifting from the classical leadership model to the new models. Because I'm curious, so I was like reading a lot and researching a lot, so I was like just
how did you decide from your master coaching, from becoming a professional coach, to building and creating a school, a training organization that train actually other professional coaches?
I remember when I traveled to US, as at that time the International Coaching Federation organized the Global Leader Forum in person. I was the president of Maha Coaching that time. We were working on the rename, and we signed the partnership, by the way, at that time in Atlanta, to become officially ICF Morocco. And when I met with peers and fellow coaches, they were all certified coaches from accredited training programs. And they were asking me, what is this? What are you training? I was proud of my training, but they were not globally recognized. And I questioned myself, we do have good programs, but unfortunately, we are only the ones who knew about them. So we are doing a lot of efforts, big efforts, but at really local level. I think that time I realized that we really need to be global, else we are going to stay like small, local, and no one can value what we are doing. When I came back, I worked with the board at that time, and we definitely agreed on becoming ICF Morocco and working to become fully recognized and have all the processes and the norms that requires the global institution. That was, I think, a big shift.
Wow. That's powerful. So thank to you and to the other board members at that time who really worked hard to have this also recognition and also go globally, as you say today, to become a successful entrepreneur. It's a must to be as a global leader, global entrepreneur, and to offer solutions or maybe services that really could target a global audience, not only local audience or local communities. That's really, really important. And I like this shift, this powerful shift that you've had at that time that really empowers you to maybe go through this path and stick to your beliefs, even if your dad said that maybe you went crazy at the moment. But that's really, really interesting. And now as a leader, as the head of this institution, this training institution, what values do you hold closely to your heart in your day-to-day work?
The program is not only training programs, it's really transformational one. We do have, because the why behind it is, when I decided to launch it, it was not to only, it's not competing with others at all. This is, I looked for what we do have in the market and what we don't, and I created something new. Something's really like coming from the deepest and rooted values of a people in, not only in Morocco, but we do have a lot of like similarities with the African countries. So what's really like define us, makes us different, and I keep all these values and identity and history also. I mix them with the international and competencies, all the global requirements. So I mixed all this to answer to this question that people, I do need to have a program or a training that allows me to grow, me to have a better career, to be better self. So this is why I have I have two levels. The level one is life coaching program for people who want to work on themselves, to have this personal development I did, to have it. And the second level is to continue to work with organizations, with companies, with groups and teams. So this is level one and level two. That's the philosophy behind it. So this is why we had a lot of interviews. So we don't admit everyone. We admit people fitted with the values and also people fitted with, because they could have another needs, and so I can suggest to them to go to another school. But for us, we need to
definitely there are so many different organizations. Or centers, if I may say, that are certified today. We can find them in Morocco and even in Africa, different African countries, South Africa also. And thanks to the International Coaching Federation associations and chapters that are really developed now globally, but also on the African continent, where we can get easily to the right organizations or institutions that really follow and help leaders or managers or even young leaders who are looking for their new mission, looking for building their future or their new part. But I would love to come back to the question about your values. What really, how can I say, drives your values or guides you day to day during your work as a leader, as a coach leader?
The first one is that we do believe in our potential. We can do it, we can make it. And the difference with the other, for example, programs, they are like foreigners coming from Europe, coming from North America, from elsewhere. But me, I didn't have like local experience, and this local is becoming global now. So I exported local product. So I do believe in this potential. Like, I really request all the African women, youth, leaders to believe in their competencies and give them the chance to prove and to show. This is my daily really value, equal opportunity. This is the equal opportunity. And the other one is it's always possible. It's always possible. And infinite list of possibility in this world. This is one. And but I'm a deep person, so I work and interact with people who are really like present to themselves and rooted. I don't like superficial things, and and the innovation also. I think that I'm always I do love creating things and innovating. When people they said, oh, they are copying on you, no, I don't mind. We will do new things. But
beautifully said. Yes, definitely. To the values that you are taking with you or guiding you as a leader are definitely the values that every woman, every young leader and African leader should keep in mind. And speaking of values, how has your African heritage shaped your leadership journey? Or maybe if I could reformulate, what has Africa taught you on your journey?
We were talking about the colors, the vibes, the energy, and the resilience. As African, we are really resilient. The energy to move forward, to keep going, to be patient. And the history, the heritage, we are, I think, the most, I will not say the oldest continent, but we do have a lot of heritage and history, wisdom. I think that shaped also my leadership style. I'm a wise woman, energetic, and I think the color and the energy give me the ability to be creative, to innovate. Yeah, this is what Africa has given me. And also the relationships, the flow and the easiness to have relationships and to enjoy also being with people and being curious about people. All these things. I'm just like thinking about it and talking about it is boosting my energy.
Wow, it's really inspiring to hear how you rooted your perspective is about Africa, and staying true to one's purpose is really crucial. So how do you stay connected to your why?
I do a lot of supervision and therapy. I do a lot. I started in 2005 and still continuing. As a leader, you are every day. You do have challenging situation, you have challenges, and you need to make decisions, and you need. It's not easy. It's not easy. The bright side is good and beautiful, but the other side is challenging. So I do a lot of work to reflect, to continue the work, and the supervision and therapy are the good support for me now.
Very interesting. So supervision and therapy and consistency, if I may say also, and focus on your purpose. Yeah, that's really, really important, and as you say, that helps you to stay stick to your why, and to remind you maybe all the time to why, to stay also focused on your business, on your projects. And now, what maybe, because we were talking about innovation and you are a researcher working on AI and education, what's the recent innovation or trend that really inspire you or excite you as a creative leader?
I just talked about it yesterday. It was the automatic translating machine or application or tool. We don't need translator anymore. So when you are facilitating, for example, or as a teacher, the student can have translating to use. This is really new.
Translating your sessions, you mean?
Yeah, you are in the class. You are, even if you are in person, you are in the class, and you have students in front of you. You can have this kind of machines, and they can. If you are, for example, speaking in English and they are speaking in Portuguese, you can facilitate. So this is a new milestone, I think. So that's mean that we are becoming really global. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
That's really great that you mentioned that, because it's also connected to the AI tools, the AI solutions and coaching trends, and in this emerging tech market. And lately I found during GITEX that a startup who's presenting also this kind of tools and solution, but focus on local African languages.
Nice.
That's really, really interesting, like Darija, Wolof, all other African languages that really could help us as coaches, as other professions, to do the translations from English, French, or Portuguese or Chinese to those local African dialects.
No, this is good, because people, when you work with them in their mother tongue languages, they are fully engaged, and the change is faster, and you are more impactful when you use their mother tongue.
Yeah, definitely. And which is interesting in this is to when we were talking about those new ideas, new solutions or projects, it often comes from challenges, right? So, and when we work as professional coaches, we help and accompany our coaches into their challenges to jump or to survive. How can I say to work on their challenges and to success into passing them. So talking about this part, what's one of the major challenges you are currently facing, or maybe you just faced lately?
I do have a lot of challenges. Honestly, every day has a lot of challenges, and I decide to take one day, for example, or one a week, or main challenges. I think the priority, you choose your priority. If it's not killing you, it's okay. you can manage it. You can manage it. You can manage it. And this is my philosophy in life. And I went through very serious disease. I was paralyzed, and for the time being, I do have autoimmune disease. All the rest is okay. It's part of life.
Definitely.
Yeah, part of life. So I think here the wisdom is the wisdom and the resilience.
The wisdom and the resilience. Those two strong words and powerful words that really help you into your challenges and to success in working on your challenges, right? And as you say, yeah, when it comes to health, everything could happen, but when when it's related to your healthcare, to your safety, that's something really, really different. And I join you and I agree 100% that it's the priority number one. And you've talked about challenges, one of your main challenges, which is prioritizing. I think everyone has this this main challenge day to day into our day to day work. And thank you, Jihane, for being so vulnerable and so candid, if I may say. Despite the challenges, what gives you hope for Africa's future today?
A lot. The research, the potential, the energy, people, age, a lot of things. The challenges are here to boost us. This is my opinion, if we consider them as a boosting opportunity. But we do have a lot to enhance, to collaborate on, to believe in. And here is the role of the leaders. To give the youth the opportunity to work, to learn. For example, we need to have the students and the trainees, give them a lot of opportunities. The startup also believe in them, support them financially, technically. The parents also please educate our kids to have the full confidence on themselves, and also believe in our education systems. Challenge the teacher, challenge the organization, but continue to support them, because this is the future, and this is the present and the future, the education. And now with the AI, education is like becoming more accessible to a lot of countries and part in the Africa region. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. Education.
Yeah.
This word it came back like more than 3 times. And definitely hope is a powerful driver for all of us. And you mentioned youth, who are often in the heart of all of this hope and work we are all doing as leaders, everyone in doing his part. And talking about the roles that we're playing, what role do you think young they are shaping or they are playing in shaping Africa's future? Maybe you can say one word or a message for the Pan-African youth.
They are the present and the future, and they are the transformation wheel to the better future. This is how I see the Pan-African.
Wow, absolutely. The the we. They are
Wheel.
the trans.
The wheel. Transformational wheel. The wheel. The wheel. The wheel. The wheel. The transformational wheel. And yes, yeah, this is how I say.
This is a very strong message for the youth who are listening to this podcast and our audience. I hope that some of them can understand it and pick it to drive their beliefs and their dreams and move forward to work hard and achieve their big dreams. You want to add something?
Yes. Where I am today, I am here because I worked hard, because I had this vision, and honestly, I did it by myself. I had a few help, really, and I asked every time. I asked for the help. I asked for the support. I paid for it when I could. When I couldn't, I asked for it for pro bono, but I did it. So you can make it and you can do it. I started 20 years ago, so now it's
absolutely.
When we do such work, we do it for the future, for the present, and for the future.
Definitely, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, and we underestimate what we can do in 10 years. So yeah, as you say, that's really good to plan ahead. Plan in 3 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years. That really helps. And to move from this amazing message to maybe one last or before the last question, what does being a co-leader for Africa mean to you?
A space for, again, collaborating, sharing, brainstorming, opening the minds, the hearts, the soul for a better Africa.
Thank you very much, Jihane, for sharing your voice, your experience, and your energy. It's been really an honor. And I have maybe a last question or something I could suggest. If you want to play a flashcard game, Co-Leaders for Africa flashcard, you can pick from 1 to 10. You can pick a number. And I'm going to read to you the question or the action that you can participate with.
9.
So,
9.
9?
9.
Okay, let's go to number 9. Here is number 9.
Okay, can read it.
The question is saying, what's the nicest thing someone ever said about you? So the action is repeat it with a smile, then say thank you.
It's a very nice stroke. You are so generous, thing that's been told recently. And yes, I took it. I said thank you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Jihane, again. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation, please share this episode, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcast, and follow us on Co-Leaders for Africa. Big dreams are still in Africa, and every voice, every choice, every connection counts. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.